it off and we'll start. I guess we're live now. Woo!
Sweet. All
Welcome, rock stars, one and all. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Hey Rockstar. We got a new look, we got new guests, but we still got the same rock star value. Today is episode 52, and I have a very special guest, Mark Barreras, who is also known as Marky the Barbon. Barbon, if you follow his Twitch stream and also his Facebook stream, he's a gamer, he is a musician, he is an actor, director, and a business owner. Man, Mark, what do you not do, my bro? Welcome to the show,
golly,
Mark.
bro. How many hat?
Just welcome to Hey Rockstar.
Awesome, man, dude. I'm glad to be here. What's up, man? I know it's been a minute, bro, since we've spoken, seen each other, But we go back how many years?
It's been a
Wow, dude.
minute, man. I
It's
mean,
been it's been a long time.
some of our audience weren't even born yet when we first
Yeah.
met. All right,
Right.
so
Can-
let me give everyone just a little background about how you and I go back. Mark and I used to be in a
yeah.
band together many moons ago. A Christian worship rock reggae band, and both of us who had baby faces at the time, no beard. And Mark even had dreadlocks at one point. I remember that.
For a little, yeah, for a time, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
he was well known as the bass player who would jump onto subwoofers and jump into the crowd, or just jump off into things. He was a jumper, but we had so much fun. We had a lot of energy, just playing around, and I'm glad that we were able to keep just a friendship throughout the times, because things happen, life happens. We move on. We moved to different cities. You were the first one to move out of West Texas, I believe. Did you go to Dallas then?
Yeah, yeah, that was I think you were already
Oh,
in
that's right. I went off
Dallas.
to
You
school. I did come off to college, so I came to Dallas.
you went to college and then Waxahachie, right? And
Yeah.
then you came over here to Lavon. Speaking
Boom.
of, I actually live in Rockwell now, so which is like right,
Next door.
yeah, dude, next door. But yeah, bro, we go back playing reggae music, Hillsong style of music, and bro, I've played in other bands too, bro. But I think that was the most fun that I've ever had. It was in the United Project, right? The
The
Unified
Unified
Project.
Project.
Unified Project. Bro, I
Oh,
had yeah, dude, it was a blast. I wish we could have kept it going, done something uh I guess
well,
longevity.
I
I
guess
wish we would have kept on going, man. It was fun, dude.
I mean, George was married. George and Judy got married then, and so it was tougher for them as a married couple to get involved. And then eventually, everyone else. Lemuel's married now too, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
I think he lives here in the Dallas area too, if I'm not mistaken.
Sorry, guys. All right. So most of you are like wondering why are they just jabbering? The new feel that I want to go with Hey Rockstar now is I want to start bringing guests and just have conversations. So we're gonna be retelling a few things. There's three areas in specific that I want to hit on Mark's life. The first one is a musician. Mark, when you first started the musicianship, what is it you can best remember called you to that?
Oh wow, dude. Growing up in church, man, since I was 5 years old, you know, the first thing that caught my eye was a drummer.
Mm.
That was I guess since even before I went to church, I would I remember my parents had bought me these plastic toy drums one time, and I was in Pampers, and of course, I would just kind of bang on them. I've always liked music because my dad would always listen to music, my mom would always listen to music. Then of course, when we got into church when I was 5 years old, you had a pretty much a live band. And of course, it was we sung coritos and Spanish type of music, but it still drew me to that. So um that's whenever it first hit me that like, wow, I want to play the drums. And I started taking lessons around 6, 7 years old by one of the guys from church. And of course, I didn't understand anything what he was telling me. He was speaking in Spanish, but I kind of seen what he was doing. And of course, back in the day, I was so shy. And another thing, not only was I shy, but I stuttered. I don't know if I've
Oh,
ever talked to you about
actually, would
that.
like to. I know that story. We can
Okay,
talk about that
well,
story too,
okay,
man.
we'll get into that. Um, but yeah, so I learned how to play drums, and I kind of got familiar with it. And then I was real like I had no confidence, no self esteem. Of course, I stuttered, so I was shy. So whenever I got to the point where okay, I could at least hold some kind of beat, right?
Mm.
They asked me if I could play up on a Sunday, and I was like so nervous, bro. I remember whenever I went up there, I was dragging so bad. I was off beat, like everything went out the window. What they showed me, right? I was so bad, bro, that the pastor's wife was leading worship, and so many times she had to stop, bro, and kind of like do this to me, like, come on, you gotta go, you faster, faster, and then I'd go faster, bro, and then she goes, no, slow down, slow, and then I'd slow down. Like I could never get the right beats per minute, and so pretty much my drumming career at that time kind of stopped. I wasn't invited to play there until I guess until I got in my teenage years, and then I was actually a little bit better, honed my skill drumming. Of course, I played guitar and bass at that time too. But yeah, dude, it was a horrible time, especially for somebody that had no confidence, and then you had the 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 pastor's wife telling me to slow down and stop. I mean, it was, I think at one time, I think she told me that she got somebody else to go up there and play the drums. That's how bad it was, bro. So
It's
imagine being a 7, 8-year-old kid.
I mean, I have to hand it to
Rejection.
those drummers who know how to play, because I mean that was the one instrument that I just couldn't keep. I
Yeah,
mean, I
yeah.
could do the cumbia, or not the cumbia, the conjunto, but besides that, the other stuff I couldn't like keep the rhythm beat. As a keyboardist, I can,
Yeah.
but yeah, I've always relied heavily more on having a good percussionist to keep. Of
I
course,
know,
I've
right?
played
So,
with both. I've played with amazing ones, and I've played with some who
so,
even
so
though
you know that.
they're no longer seven, but they still kind of slow down, speed up when they shouldn't.
Oh, bro, yeah, it was probably one of my times that I've actually felt like not only humiliated but rejection, but it humbles you and
Yeah.
it made me want to actually learn. You know what I'm saying? So after that, um, I told my dad, I was like, "Hey, get me into like a professional lesson person." And of course, back in the day, we didn't have money or anything like that, so lessons were pretty expensive to us.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I think there was like a mom and pop music shop that they had a guy that would give drum lessons, and of course, like I said, bro, it was crazy growing up. I stuttered, so I couldn't really talk, and I think a fear of just being around people, dude. It was
Mm,
weird. We couldn't go shopping. I couldn't go to the mall without, and I was like, I was holding my mom's hand or something, and I was just looking down. I couldn't look at people. It was crazy, bro. So for me to go to a class and have lessons, I couldn't do it. I wasn't concentrating because my whole time I was just anxiety.
yeah.
So I think I went to like a couple of lessons and I kind of stopped. But but yeah, bro, that's whenever my musician, I guess, track kind of started, and then it just,
Was that
I
me?
started
I'm sorry.
kind of gain more experience in playing guitar, bass, and oh, okay, I got a
Okay.
phone call.
That was so unprofessional. That's my
I'm pro-
phone, man.
right. Let me turn this off real quick.
Oh no, you cool too. All right, so of course, so when I met Mark, I know he plays guitar, but we mainly needed him for his mad bass skills, because you need a bass. Most people kind of look, they want to be the guitarist or the lead singer or whatever, but the bass, especially when we go out into reggae, that's when I like. And when I here in Nashville, I always ask everyone that I meet, they play bass, like, hey, so can I just ask you something? And they're like, yeah, sure. Can you play anything? Like, oh yeah, pretty much. Like, how about reggae? And they're like, oh well, I mean, we could try. And like, all right, cool. No, no, just that answer alone, I realize. I mean, they can play anything, but reggae is just another. It's where the bass player gets to shine, I think.
Oh, bro, see, and I think that's why I love reggae, man. I love reggae because that's, yeah, like usually if you look at other genres, like rock, of course, it's guitar, right?
Yeah.
Guitar, vocals, or whatever. Other styles, keyboard, heavy on the keyboard, and the bass always is in the back, just kind of just holding it down. But reggae, you get kind of it's almost like the melody of a bass is almost like a singer's melody in another genre. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, dude, I guess that's one of the reasons I dig reggae, man.
It was fun. All right. So the next thing, entering now as we're getting older, um, I gotta set the ground floor for this. Mark's done a lot of things to impress me to overcome certain situations. Actually, no, we need to share that story. So
Okay.
you mentioned that as a child you had high anxiety or you were just nervous to meeting people. And one thing that was probably not accredited, but I want to say it's one thing that didn't really help you out was that you had a stuttering problem. I remember you shared this story with me as a child. I would like to know whatever you can share just to
Oh
inspire
yeah.
someone how you were able to overcome stuttering.
Oh, okay, yeah, dude. Of course, since I can remember, I don't know whenever we could utter sounds, I remember just always stuttering. It didn't matter if it was with my family members, cousins, friends, or at church, school. I would stutter really bad. Now, whenever I was with my parents, I wasn't as bad. I guess because
Mm,
I felt comfortable. You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
But like with, especially like in elementary, junior high, high school, bro, I had it really tough, dude. It was bad because especially when you know participation, right? Teachers like, hey, can you read this paragraph or whatever, and then they always pick on me. And bro, it was like I would just sweat. I would get hot. Um, almost wanted to just crawl underneath the desk, right? And so I had a really hard hard time just even starting a sentence. But of course, whenever you stutter in front of the class, everybody laughs. You know what I'm saying, or
Yeah.
they put you down, make fun of you, whatever. So of course, somebody that's shy, that doesn't have self confidence, that just kind of it brings
True.
your spirit down, bro, even worse. And it was crazy. So growing up, I would ask my parents because being in elementary, mom, I stutter too much. I stutter too much. I need help. I need help. I always thought, is there a pill I could take? Is there medicine I could take? Right. And this is when I was like 6, 7, 8 years old. And my parents were like, no, you don't stutter. You're good. You're good. Well, whenever at home, I didn't stutter, but whenever I wasn't around my parents,
Mm.
I stuttered. So no, it'll go away. It'll go away. It's like, mom, no, trust me. It was just really hard. And like I mentioned, I grew up in church, so it was crazy because I even at church I would stutter with friends, people around, but I would always go up to the altar to get prayer to get healed, or to get healed, or but bro, I would go all the time and nothing, 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 right? I'd still stutter. And this is from growing up. And I guess my parents, either they were just ignorant or they didn't know that, hey, we could have put you in like a not special education, but what do you call it, where they kind of teach you with the words,
Oh,
like a speech,
like speech
what's it
therapy.
called, therapy, yeah, like something like that. And for some reason, I don't know, we didn't go that route. But anyways, of course I grew up. And then junior high, same thing. It was hard to meet people, it was hard to meet girls, right? uh
That's important.
it's important, right? So like I had friends, but I didn't socialize. I wasn't a social person. I was probably like the awkward guy, the shy person. So that's whenever I started picking up guitar, bass, right? And you practice and you stayed home. Um, so that's like in junior high. Whenever I got my car in high school, same thing, bro. It was tough because so many times I'd go through a drive-through, right? And just say McDonald's, and the speaker comes on. Hello, sir. How can I help you? And I'm like, like I'm over here stuttering, I can't get it off. And then they start
Oh
stop playing.
man.
They would always think that I'm playing, or those you could hear people laughing or people honking because I'm trying to order me a burger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I
Boys
can't
gotta
get
eat.
I can't get the words out, bro. I'm gonna just pull out and take off. Like I've done that so many times. It was just crazy, bro. But like if I had a buddy or something with me, I like, hey, bro, you got to order for me. So of course he would order. That was the only way I'd get it done. And
Mhm.
of course I'd have a hard time, especially going inside and trying to order because I'm thinking, okay, everybody's looking, everybody's listening to me, watching me. Then I'm stuttering, and it's just bad, bro. But so that's the way it was. Fast forward to college, I was probably like 22, 23 years old, and I forget what semester it was, but one of the classes was public speaking.
Mm.
So I'm like, crap, dude, I can't fail this. I passed my other classes with with flying colors, and this one I have to speak. Like this is gonna be tough. This is gonna be hard. What do I do? It's like I don't want to fail this class, or I don't want to quit because I was thinking, you know what, I'm just gonna quit college. Forget it.
Oh
Forget
man.
it, bro. Like I was like, I'm gonna quit because there's no way. But I was at home. I was still living with my parents, and then I was like God, like you got to do something. I was like, you know, you have to do something. It says in your word that that you heal, that you've opened the eyes of the blind, and you've healed the leprosy. You raise the dead. I was like, why can't you give me a tongue? Why can't you give me words that I could utter and people understand? I was almost kind of getting I was getting frustrated, bro. I was getting really frustrated, and I was kind of talking like this. I was pacing, and I was like, "You got to do something." I was like, "I've been faithful. I've been obedience. I've been a good person, right?" I was like,
Mhm.
"Something's got to happen because I'm not gonna quit. I'm not gonna quit college, and just because I can't, because I'm afraid of what people are gonna think, whatever." So as I was kind of just speaking to God, um, in my mind or in my spirit, I just felt. I glanced over to the coffee table, and parents had a Bible there, right? And I just felt in my mind, and nobody was at home, um, to go open it and read it out loud. Like I was like, oh wow, okay. Because I was mad, bro. I was like almost arguing, and I felt that like, hey, go get the Bible and open it, read it out loud. Um, so I was like, I got it like this, and I just kind of just opened it up, right? Then I just started reading it out loud, bro, and did that for maybe about 20, 30 minutes. Uh, I mean, I didn't know what I was reading as far as like I didn't have a specific chapter. I just kind of
Yeah.
just opened it up, and whatever it was on there, I just started reading it out loud. So I started doing that, uh, like every day whenever I got the chance, come home from school or work, and I
Wow.
would just pick up the Bible and read as much as I can when nobody was there. And then that happened for a couple of days that week. And then come Sunday, I remember I was talking to one of my friends or somebody from church, and I'll realize that I wasn't stuttering after like about 5 minutes into the conversation. I was like, "Whoa, I'm not stuttering." I was speaking like if nothing, like I am right now, and I kind of like paused.
Let's go get a burger.
Bro, yes, dude, yes, yes, bro. I kind of paused and I smiled, and he was like, "Why are you smiling?" I was like, "Bro, I'm not even stuttering," and he didn't realize that. I was like, "Oh, dude, you're not." And then I was like, "Let's go get a burger." So yeah, dude, it was crazy. So ever since that week or that time, like I was like, "Wow, dude, now I could actually take public speaking and no words, right?" And actually,
Mm.
that was one of my highest grades that I made in all my subjects was public speaking, bro. And I was like, oh wow, okay, cool,
That's
that'll
cool.
work.
That is
And
cool.
then, of course, at that time, I started playing with this ministry. It was a rock ministry. It was called Broken, And we did a lot of like youth camps, summers, and then we played a lot of churches throughout the year and whatnot. And so that was pretty cool. But yeah, dude, I just noticed that like, wow, dude, I could actually speak. So I wanted to do something. I wanted to challenge myself because I always love to challenge myself. So I was like, now that I could speak, I've always wanted to do movies, right?
Oh,
Like,
okay.
ever since we were young, we always dream about being a rock star,
Mm-hmm.
a movie star or whatever, right? Somebody like that. So I was like, I'm gonna tell anybody that I'm gonna go and try to audition. I had no idea how to audition. I lived in Odessa. Um, I was like, okay, no. I think I'm getting ahead of myself. Actually, I didn't get bit by the acting bug until they were making a movie. I was working for the USPS, which is
Were they making a
United.
movie or were they making a show?
They were making a movie
Oh, okay,
in
okay.
Odessa.
Yeah.
I was working for the post office, and after I got done with my route, I remember passing down this one street, and um, from where I was, I saw these big old lights, bro, like huge lights. It was probably about six in the evening. I was like, I started looking, I was like, okay, what is that? So I went around, and I went down Second Street, and then I seen that they had this hotel blocked, right? They had barricades and stuff, and I seen a lot of people kind of part and looking. I was like, oh wow. Then at a distance, I seen a big old camera. I was like, whoa, they're shooting a movie, bro. So so I parked, right? I parked. I still had my at that time I took off. I didn't have anything, but I had just a regular shirt, and I had my badge from the USPS, right? I was like, I'm gonna try to get in that set so I could get in the movie, right? I didn't know anything about how the movie works. I didn't know you had an audition or all this stuff, right? So I was like, I want to get in there. I want to get in there. I want to see who's there. So I'll put on my badge like I was something important, right? And
Yeah.
I snuck under the barricades, bro. And then there was I guess the paramedics. I guess they have like paramedics in case if
Mm-hmm.
something
Yeah.
happens. So I went over there and I started talking to one of the EMTs, and we're just kind of chit chatting or whatever, trying to act like I was important, like I was supposed to be there. And then of course at a distance you see where they were filming, you see the camera, you see the director, you see all the PAs and yada yada, everybody there. And I was just there talking. I was like, hey, what is this? What's going on? So it was one of Tommy Lee Jones' movie that he was shooting. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, cool. I was like, who else is on there? Who's like January Jones and so's there. And I was like, okay, sweet. And I was like, I'm not gonna get in trouble because I'm here, right? He goes, nah, I think you're cool. But as they were still doing their thing at a distance, there's a lady. She had a notebook, clipboard, or whatever, right? And she was just kind of, I think she was like the script supervisor or something, right? And come to find out, she was the one of the PAs or something. But I would remember she would always turn around and look where we were. I was like, crap, And I was like, okay, hopefully she doesn't kick me off the set or whatever. But every time she'd be turning around, and then at one time she got off the set or where they were shooting, and she came over here towards me. I was like, oh man, I was like, sir, am I going to go to jail? I was scared, bro. Like, if I go to jail,
Am I going to jail?
I was like, no. And then she goes, are you supposed to be on the set? I was like, no, ma'am, I'm just watching, right? She goes, oh, okay. Well, we're actually looking for extras, and I didn't know what extras were. And I was like, extra what? And she goes, no, extras like backgrounds, actors that you see in the background in movies. I was like, oh, like, yeah. And she goes, okay, cool. Well, I was so nervous, bro. I was like, I didn't even understand what she was really saying. But to fast forward a little bit, she goes, hey, give me your email, whatever. She contacted me. And the next day I was an extra on that movie, which was cool. So that's whenever I got bit by the acting bug. After that, I was like, you know what? I could actually probably make a little bit of money doing extra work. So I started researching it and stuff. And, bro, yeah, I just, I Googled like the Dallas Acting Commission. They had a list of jobs you could do. San Antonio, of course, is a big
Yeah.
film industry. Austin is a big film industry. So I kind of just auditioned. I would not audition, but I submitted for extra work. And then I started doing like shows like Chase, I think was one of the I did a couple of theirs. Dallas, I don't know if you're familiar with Dallas,
Mm-hmm.
the remake.
The remake.
I did that.
Oh, well, I haven't gone back to watch it. But
and and it's funny because I was always play like cartel guys
of
or
course.
right, typecast. Right. Oh,
That's awesome.
always the troublemaker guy, man. It's funny. And well, I did a couple of those, and I was like, you know what? Let me maybe kind of hone my skill a little bit better. So I started taking a theater class over at,
Mm.
at Odessa College. Did
Good
that.
OC.
I was
Good
so,
OC.
good old C, bro. And I did I think a couple of semesters. It was fun. I even went to the Permian Playhouse. I did a couple of shows there too, which
Oh,
was awesome, man. So I was like, you know what? Let me try film. So I started I got some headshots and stuff. Not like the headshot that was on your thumbnail, bro. That was a ghetto headshot.
oh, you see, I think I'm gonna start doing like asking people to send me headshots. I want them to start sending me like selfie shots because
Oh, so there
I
you
like
go.
that look of just a quick shot of someone just being whatever.
I was
It's
like,
easier to work with too, actually.
I know, bro. I seen all your guest headshots. They're all professional,
Yeah,
nice, and then I come out with the ghetto headshot. Bro, like, hey. I stopped at the park and just told a stranger, "Hey, can you take a picture of me?"
that's awesome.
But no, dude. Yeah, I started doing theater, and then I was like, "Let me go ahead and see. I'm gonna get me a professional headshot, and let's see if we can't submit to do some, maybe some supporting roles or
Mm.
small like short films or whatever, right? Student films." So I did that. Went to tons of auditions, Dallas, San
Wow.
Antonio, Austin. And at this time, of course, I was still in Odessa. So I did a lot of driving, which is cool. I was single,
Wow.
right? I was
Yeah,
single,
at the time.
no responsibility. So I did, of course, a lot of them I got rejected, but some of them I did get. I did some short films, not the best. Awkward. I don't tell anybody what it is because it's just awkward, bro. And but the cool thing, the one cool video or deal that I did was a music video for shoot, what's the band from South Africa? Oh man, um, I think it was like a early 2000. They're
Uh,
from Africa. It's a trio.
can't remember.
Oh man.
We'll
Well,
Google it later.
anyways, they were shooting this in San Antonio, and it was cool. So I was in a music video, really really good music video. Um, Seether, Seether,
See there.
yeah, there you go, Seether. So I played an alien. So if anybody goes back and watches a Seether video, it's called Country. I was the alien in there, and I did my own stunts. So let's just put it that way. I did my own stunts. Um, so that was cool. But yeah, I did. And then of course the commercial we both made, bro, at the
I didn't make it. I was just there. Well, okay. Let me share a little bit of the story. I'm not gonna share your parts, but
okay.
was I with you or was I already living there and you told me to come out to where you're at? I can't remember. I was already there or I traveled with you at so many adventures. But
No, you
Deep
you
Ellum.
you lived here, and I think I had just moved here.
Oh, okay.
I just had moved
So
here.
for those of you who know Dallas Fort Worth, we're in the Deep Ellum area, and if you don't know what that is, it's a pretty cool. Well, it's changed a lot since whenever this was shot. But they also
Yeah.
had a lot of warehouses that I actually, when I lived in that area and got involved in film, a lot of filmmakers were using these separate warehouses and these separate abandoned buildings or semi-used buildings for different shoots. But Mark invited me to come meet him somewhere. He's like, "Hey, I think it's an open set." See, I didn't even know what that meant.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, dude.
And
Yeah.
then, oh, you're talking about that other commercial. I know what
The
you're talking
other
about.
commercial.
No,
Yes.
no, no, no.
Okay.
Yeah, you lived here by then. No, you were already married by then, weren't you? when
Yeah,
he
yeah.
lives
When
here?
we hit
Okay.
the commercial, but this one that we're
For the
talking
region.
about, I
Okay,
want to
I'm
tell
talking
you,
about this one.
I was gonna
My first
okay,
taste of acting. I didn't know what Mark
okay,
was doing. He's like,
gotcha.
I'm in town for something. Like, cool. And let's meet up. And so he told me he's gonna be Deep Ellum. So we show up. I show up, and it's a small film set. I'm not sure. It's probably a student film, whatever. And they're opening. They let me hang out there, and so I'm there and watching Mark do his thing. And it's funny because well, I'm not gonna poke fun of you can tell there are a lot of it's a student film, but the story that I come in and how I got my first start at this is I'm standing there and they have this prop table with real looking guns, authentic looking guns, but they're all fakes, but they look solid and some of them felt solid, and I think there might have been a real one, but that had been like the pin's been taken out, whatever. Anyway, and I'm not sure. I hope I didn't get anyone in trouble, but we're not documenting anyone.
Nah,
But
dude.
someone off the street happens to walk into this building just curious. You can tell he's just a man. He's looking for money, a handout. He's just a peddler. He walks in. He's like, hey, I just want to know if someone could. And that's when the director just kind of looks and everyone's noticed this stranger just walks on set, doesn't belong. And he walks straight up and the first thing he notices is there is a table full of guns. And then he sees these guys that are prepped, like they're in the gangster kind of scene, like they're having some kind of meeting. And he's like, "Oh man, I don't want no trouble. I don't know what. I'm sorry." And he just kind of slowly walked out and walked away and
Oh man.
left. And then the producer, director looked at me like, "Hey, you're now hired as one of our as our bouncer, or like you're now
Oh
security. No one's allowed
wow.
to come in." Like, all right, I'm security, so I stood at the door. No one else came in, so I got hired on to be security for this shoot because they
Oh,
needed
bro, I
someone.
didn't know that. I didn't know that went down, man.
That happened. Yeah,
What?
I'm not sure. You were kind of on the far side, but yeah, that guy came in and it was just weird.
Oh
But it was
man.
cool. That was my first taste, and then after that, I also did um, it was a background acting for a family film, and this film actually changed my whole life. It was called Summer Shadow. It went straight to DVD, and I went back to find the clips because actually
Yeah.
I forgot if one of them free sites has it, like Vumu, whatever it's called.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
there's
Yeah,
some
yeah.
that you can watch free movies. It's on there, and
I
I
gotta
wanted to
check
go
it out.
watch it, but I just fast forward to the parts where I'm at, and you can
What's
see
it
me
called, bro?
there
I'm
just
gonna write it down.
doing nothing. Yeah, it's called Summer Shadow. If you Google how to find Summer Shadow, and you'll see. But I didn't even get IMDb credit for that. I don't think they took. Well, I don't know. Maybe they have, but that was my first taste of background acting, and that's when I also
Wow,
realized
dude, I
here's
forgot
the
about
big
that.
less takeaway I took from Summer Shadow. It was those two directors, and it was a husband and wife duo. They were directing, co-directing, and they were setting everything up. They're putting us in places. They were doing their thing, and then finally he goes, "All right, places everyone." And then the wife, the co-director, was also the lead of this film. And
Hmm.
then I thought to myself, you see, that's how you do it, because I was getting all these background roles and like I wasn't getting any lead roles or supporting roles. Like that's how you do it. You just produce your own film and then you cast yourself as the lead.
Yeah, dude. Right.
And so that's what introduced me into the production aspect and learning all the camera and learning everything about the whole world of filmmaking. Now here I came here for film, didn't find it film, got lost in theater for a while. But now that film is starting to open up for me. I started to get my feet wet with PA, but that's starting to open up. And I just lost Mark. No, Mark, where did you go? Where'd you go, Mark? Oh man, I was about to do the shout out too. But I guess I'll keep on talking, see if he jumps right back on. Go and use that link again to jump back in, Mark. If you can still see me, if you can still hear me. But so yeah, so that was the biggest takeaway that I took from that one shoot, is that I needed to learn more. And of course that's opened up opportunities now that I've been working more in other areas, and as a cinematographer, as a BTS photographer, and also videographer, I've been getting work as behind the scenes. And he's back in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, Mark.
My
Everything
bad,
okay?
bro. Yeah.
Everything okay? Did you forget to
Oh,
plug in your laptop? Just kidding.
I forgot to put the batteries in my camera.
uh,
No, dude. Awesome.
but no, I was telling everyone, and so now the work that I get now as a cinematographer, as also BTS, because I've been doing behind the scenes footage and behind the scenes photography for different film sets and other video products. Also, the church that I'm at, because of my camera skills that I learned, I became one of their camera operators and now one of their broadcast directors and also the TD, the switchboard. And I've been starting to get bids or starting to hear of noise of need for technical directors for like the sports games going on here in Nashville. And I met the guy who can connect me to the right people. So I'm starting to get a lot of work
Oh wow,
due
cool.
to just being on set once with you, man.
Oh
I'll
yeah,
start
dude,
somewhere.
that is
Do you want to
crazy.
talk about the Rangers or should
The
we
rain.
go on?
No, bro, we could talk about the Rangers, bro. I remember I did, bro, before. That still
You
got paid.
did and you still got
I
paid.
still got paid, bro.
Gregory's still mad at that. Like that boy Bark, he left before
Hey,
the
shout out to your boy, Jose Sanchez, man.
Yeah. I'm doing this right here. Boom.
There he is.
He is a good man, always willing to help or answer questions.
Oh
That's
yeah,
right.
he
He
was.
reached out to you about his potential
Yeah, it's
business.
lawn business, man. Hopefully, you guys are killing it out there, man, with the lawn business. I know you guys can definitely make a lot of money out there in West Texas, man. People are willing to pay.
He was he's got a few clients. He's not trying to make a big thing, but he's got a few clients and he just wants to know he want to know just a few questions on how your experience had been. But he also knows that it's probably different in the DFW or the Metroplex as though small town
Oh yeah, yeah,
Little Rangers.
yeah, yeah.
But any help. But we'll get into that part too.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get into it in a minute.
Actually, I decided let's scratch the Ranger,
Okay.
because that was a long, fun day too. Commercial that we did together. But speaking of this, I'm actually like the
All right.
topic that you're talking about: confronting your limitations, confronting your fears,
Fears, bro.
confronting
Yes.
your the things that make you insecure.
Wow,
Another
dude.
time when Mark surprised me, he said, "Hey, Jose, I'm in town again. I'm going to this convention. Like, cool. It's a herper convention. Like, what the heck is that?" He goes, "You're gonna love it. Let's check it out." And I show up, and it's snakes and lizards and turtles and all stuff that was happening in Dallas at the time. And I was impressed. So, Mark, let's talk about why you even
Okay,
found
cool.
yourself here, if you don't mind.
Yeah. All right, cool. And this is okay, because I've always had a phobia of snakes, and I think that's like probably like the top phobia, on earth. I think.
Actually, the top is fear of public speaking.
Oh, is it?
And then
Oh, okay. So
followed
I'm
by
gonna
either
say
spiders or snakes.
it has to be like top 3 or top 5, I think. So of course, man, I've had a phobia of snakes, not so much lizards, but it just snakes, bro. And I don't know what it was, and I had it growing up. People would always, even if I seen a rope that even looked like a snake, bro, I couldn't look at it, I couldn't touch it, even if it was a shoelace. You know what I'm saying? And it
Yeah.
just and my brother was like, "Oh, there's a snake right there." Before he said that, I knew it was a shoelace, but whenever he said snake,
Mm.
it turned into a snake in my mind. Like it was just weird, bro. He's like, it's gonna bite you. It's gonna bite you.
Wow.
And it's just a shoelace. But I was like, bro, I'd freak out, bro. Even though before he said that, I wasn't freaking out, but because he said snake, I was like, oh, that's a snake. So that's how bad it was. And this was like in my late 30s, bro. I was still afraid of snakes in my late 30s. When was it when we went to the
I don't remember. I mean, I
exhibition
was
or what?
living. I want to say it's early 30s, not so much late 30s, because I moved here when I was 35. So
Okay.
I'm even 34. So I want to say it's either late 20s, early 30s. Whenever
Okay, so
you
like
came to.
okay, so I'm gonna say I was probably in my early 30s when I was like, you know what? Okay, I've started doing acting, I'm speaking. That's one of my fears, being on stage or whatever, public speaking, just or for me, just being in public was a
Yeah.
fear, bro. So I was like, okay, cool. All right, I did that. I'm able to speak. I did some speaking roles or whatever. Now I started thinking too. I was like, okay, what's my other fears? All right, talking to girls and and snakes. I was like, I think snakes is a little bit easier to try to like I think I can handle snakes. Snakes just bite. You know what I'm saying? So
And
I
let
was like,
go. Snakes bite
yeah.
and let go.
uh
Okay, I'm sorry, y'all.
bro. So I was like, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna challenge because, like I said, I like to challenge myself, and that I think that's something that we don't do enough as individuals is challenge ourselves, get out of our comfort box. And I think you've mentioned this: get out of your comfort box, out of your box, and stretch yourself. Because you never know what potential uh you have. Because if you're just kind of stuck in comfortable in what you do in my job and this and that, you will never expand. You can never uh be successful maybe in other things,
Mm.
and other things that you don't even know that you could be great at. So I was like, you know what? Okay, I did that. I did this. Let's what's my fear? Let's all right,
Hold
let's
on,
try to
Mark.
tackle. Let's
I just gotta say, that's Rockstar Gold. You just dropped right there. You just dropped
Oh
some
man,
Rockstar
that's
Gold.
awesome, bro.
All right, go on.
Um
You overcame your fears. You overcame your or
Overcome the fears, and I was like, let's just try to get over the fears of snakes. So I gave myself a timeline. I was like, okay, so this is, I'm gonna say it was probably like April or something, March or April, whenever I was like, you know what, let's do something different. So see, and this how bad it was for me. I couldn't even watch a snake video, bro, without me getting freaked out. Even a video, or even back in the day, a book.
yeah, I remember
You
you
know what I
telling me
mean?
that part.
Like if I would see a book and it had a snake, bro, I would throw the book like if it was like if it turned into fire. You know what I'm saying? Like
Wow.
hot
Yeah.
potatoes, bro. Boom, just throw the book. And I couldn't touch the book. I couldn't see the book because I was afraid that the snake was gonna come out of the book, bro. That's how bad it was. So so it took a while to even look at videos online. And slowly but surely I started kind of getting used to watching videos online and stuff. And then I went to this one guy, Brian Barczyk, and he's big whenever it comes to snakes and stuff. So I started watching his videos, and I started getting intrigued, like with ball pythons,
Mm.
because ball pythons, you could breed them in ways where you could get different colors,
Yeah.
crazy cool looking patterns. And ball pythons are a really good starter snake because they're not squirmy, they don't move, they just want to just kind of chill and just, they just stay. So I started kind of getting used to and watching some of his videos, and I was like, oh man, that is pretty cool. I started getting into the genetics and the science, like the genetics or
Yeah.
whatever, the morphs, the different type of morphs that they have. And that kind of brought my fear level down, just knowing these things,
Yeah.
right? How to take care of them. And you know, so I was like, okay, so this happened maybe about a month, watching on YouTube or whatever, maybe about a month and a half. So I was like, I'm gonna go down to the store, or to the pet store, and I'm gonna try to look, actually look at them live. So whenever I got in the pet store, the snake room, the reptile was at the very back, had a door. You have to open it, and I couldn't even get into the door, bro. Like that's how bad it was. I told the owner, I was like, hey, I'm trying to get rid of the fear of snakes. I've been kind of researching in it and stuff. It's like, but if you see me kind of pacing back and forth right here, I'm not crazy. I'm just trying to work my way up to get into that room. And so she was cool about it. And she goes, you could come here every day, all day. And if you ever feel comfortable and you want me to bring one out to hold, I could do it. I was like, no, I'm good right here. I was like, let's wait. I'll let you. Yeah.
I'll let you know. Man.
Yeah. So I was just, like I would go every day, bro. Like seriously, I'd come from work and go there and just for a few minutes, right? Until I was able to go in there. Then the lady was kind of showing me like what they have and yada yada, and I was like, hey, cool. I was in there for like 2 minutes, like I'm out. If I kind of got anxiety or whatever, I
Yeah.
was like, good, I'm out. Try again tomorrow. But I started doing that for a few months, and I think maybe like 5 or 6 months. I researched, and there was going to be excuse me, um, Reptile Expo in San Antonio, and I think this is whenever I had invited y'all. Who was it? You and Rafa,
You
right?
and was it Frank? Who'd you say?
Rafa?
No, it wasn't Rafa. It was someone
Was it?
else from I think he met us there.
But this was in San Antonio, right?
Oh no.
Or
I only
Austin?
been the two that I went with you were both in Dallas. Or maybe I just went to one with you in Dallas. But there was
Maybe.
someone else. There was someone else because and I thought he traveled with you from Texas over here. Like a cousin, or you met a cousin or family member here or something like that.
Okay.
Or there.
Okay. Because I
I want
remember
to
it
say it's a
was
cousin
somebody
of
else
yours.
with us.
Didn't
Maybe
don't
it
you
was my
have
cousin.
cousins
I
like
think it was
in
my
like,
cousin.
huh?
Yeah, I think it was my cousin because my cousin lived here in Dallas.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
that's what
remember
it
we
was.
met at the Steak and Shake, and then we went there.
There you go. Okay, so that's it. That's it. But yeah, bro. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm ready. Well, before that, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. So I would go inside the pet store, and I was able to look at them and stuff. And I was like, a few months went by, a couple of months went by, and I went to. This is when I went to San Antonio. I went to San Antonio, and I was like, I'm gonna hold a snake for the first time there. And it was just me by myself. I was actually doing an audition in San Antonio, so like, why not go and check out this reptile place?
Yeah.
So one of the guys was like, hey, you know what? We got some baby ball pythons. I told him my situation, what I was, and I was like, he goes, if you don't want to hold any of the ones that are down up here, I got some baby ones, 3 week old babies. I was like, cool, yeah. So he gave me a baby, and it was I think it was called a clown. Really nice colors. It was yellow and black, and he put it on my hand like this, right? And then he goes, you just have to put. He goes, it's not gonna squirm, it's not gonna move. You just hold still. So he put it on there, right? And I was like, oh snap! I was actually holding it, bro, and it stayed still, but it just seemed like I started kind of freaking out. And that's whenever it started to move. I'm like, oh no, dude, it's moving. It just felt weird, the sensation of it moving. And I was like freaking out. He goes, "No, you're cool. You're doing good." And he started kind of crawling up my arm like this, and I freaked out, right? Because he moved, he jerked his head, and I thought he was gonna bite me. And I don't know what I did. I think I kind of like almost threw it at him, but he caught it. I was like, "Oh man," I was like, "I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to do that." It just freaked me out because he shook his head or whatever. But that was my first time doing it. I was like, you know what? I think I'll be able to. I think I'm gonna buy me one. And then that's whenever we went to that reptile exposition in Dallas, and that's whenever I bought that bald python, dude. And I had it was 3 weeks old, and I had it for maybe a few years, couple of years.
Yeah,
It
I
got like
remember.
about 5.5, 6 feet, bro.
It was,
So
that was just an impressive feat of Mark going
it
from
was
one
crazy,
thing
bro.
to another thing to another thing. And I mean, we're already at the 47 mark. I'm not sure if you want to stick around any longer. Um, I'm not sure what your time frame looks.
No, we're just gonna. My stepson has a choir
Oh, right on.
concert today, and it's not till like 7, which is really not far from here. The school's not that far, man. But
All right. Well,
was
then let's go with one last story that I want to
okay,
or experience.
okay,
Um, but okay, so you conquered your fear. A musician, you
right.
conquered your fear. You overcame stuttering. You've done some acting. You own snakes. But once you, for most people, marriage is the fear. But we're not getting into the marriage part because there's
That's
plenty of
a
other videos that talk about marriage.
okay.
Which,
Yeah,
by
yeah,
the
yeah.
way, you have a beautiful family.
Awesome, man. I
I've had the
appreciate it.
privilege of even spending the night at your. Well, I don't know where you live now, but I remember you used to have an apartment just outside of Dallas where I want to spend the night on one of
Which
your
one did,
kids' beds.
bro? I don't remember.
It's
Oh, what
whenever
was
you
it
had a
on?
bicycle. I remember you rode a bicycle around your apartment complex. It was like, um, it was like,
Was it a Mesquite? It was probably
yeah,
a
it was a
Mesquite.
Mesquite. It was a
Okay,
Mesquite.
gotcha. Okay,
You had
yeah,
an
yeah, yeah.
apartment there,
It
and
was
I
it was the
stayed there
first
one
apartment.
time because I was driving through to go somewhere, and I
That's right.
spent one night with
Okay.
you. But anyway, but what eventually caught my attention, of course, becoming a married man, you need to provide, and you had
Right.
multiple different jobs. When is it that you started your endeavor as an entrepreneur
Oh,
to do
bro.
lawn, or when did that even become a thought?
Ooh, entrepreneur, man.
Yeah,
I
you become a
never,
business owner.
that's good, bro. It's
First
not,
step to entrepreneur. To become an entrepreneur, you need to
bro,
learn how to spell
that's
entrepreneur.
bro, that's a lot better than what my stepdaughter was telling me the other day. She was like, hey, dad, you're an entrepreneur. I was like, no, babe, entrepreneur. No, entrepreneur. I was like, what do you mean? Because sometimes you're foolish. Hey, bro. I was like, come on, man. And then, of course, you start. No.
Yeah, he's grown up.
Oh, speak. Hey, how's it going? Oh, no. Sorry.
No, that's right.
Um, Epi took Peyton to. He has a. I'm actually streaming live right now to the school. He has a concert today. Yeah, yeah. Okay. His contract I think doesn't end till like 8 or something. Oh, okay.
Wait,
Um,
is your contract at 7?
I think she said it starts like around 7 or
Oh,
about
then
7. Yeah. No,
I
it's
don't.
all good, man. No, no.
Yeah,
Yeah, my wife knows that we're having the interview and everything. So no,
I don't
dude,
want you to be late. I don't want Epi to be mad at me.
hey, bro.
That's gonna stop by. He don't come
He's gonna be
around, and when he
like,
does, he takes my husband's
oh.
at the most important times.
No, no, no. She knows we had this already planned, so it's all good, man. We could roll till however
No,
long, bro.
let's wait. Just how did you go from entrepreneur
Okay,
to entrepreneur?
I know, right? Bro, dude. Well, I've always worked for the post office since I got
Mhm.
out of high school, so it was like from wow, dude, 99, 98 up till just a few years ago. Man, how I got into I've always wanted to always have my own business. I didn't want to have a boss. It was supervisors. I kind of want to get out of that employee
Yeah.
mindset. And but of course, I was still kind of I was shy. I didn't know how to build a business. My parents didn't own businesses. I didn't have friends that knew about business. So I was like, I've always thought about it. And I always wanted to start a music store, right? I just never knew how to do it. But of course, you got to have really high capital, have a lot of money to do that, or really good loan. So I was like, no, I need something that's cheap to start up and can potentially make a lot of money, right?
Hmm.
So when I moved down here to Dallas, whenever I got married and I moved over here, I had a friend at church who that's what he did. He was a landscaper, but he worked for these big landscape companies,
Yeah.
nationwide companies. Was like, hey man, you know what? Let's start a lawn care business. And of course, I was like, man, I don't want to do lawn care. You got to be out there in the heat, in the grass, dirty, whatever. He goes, and you could, and I just kind of started thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? Let's give it a shot. I'm not doing nothing over here in Dallas, right? It was whenever I just moved.
Yeah.
Um, I was like, let's do it, man. So of course we went to the pawn shops and we got ourselves a $70 blower, $80 push mower, and a weed eater, right? And at that time, I had I think a 2007 uh, Malibu, so it was a car. I didn't have a truck. We bought a 5x8 trailer, like from some dude down the street for $400. It was all ghetto and stuff. And I went on Amazon, bought a little trailer hitch for my car. So we
Wow.
started, yeah, bro. Like I was like, because the thing with me is like if I start something, I'm gonna go all the way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
go hard or go home is the thing with me. It doesn't matter what I do. That's just the way I like to do things. I'm either gonna do it. Like if he had told me let's try it, and I was like, no, not really, bro. I wouldn't have done it. But I started, a couple of days just talking to my wife. I was like, let's do it, right? She goes, I'll support you, whatever. Let's do it. So to fast forward from there, for I got my business, or I was doing my business out of my car, bro. So it was
Wow.
crazy. Everybody that would see me in a car and all the other lawn care guys would like give me the thumbs up or whatever, like, yeah, go, go. So I started doing that, just kind of building my clientele, distributing business cards on doors,
Hmm.
made flyers or whatever. And I just kind of marketed it myself. And I started kind of getting clients as the season progressed, um, to the point where my buddy was like, hey, you know what, man, I can't, I got to, he could, for whatever reason at that time, he couldn't help me out. So I started going solo and I had all this clients. There's no way I could have taken care of. So of course I hired my first employee, Doug, and he was with me for like a couple of years, few years, until of course he passed away about
Mm.
a year and a half ago. But yeah, bro, it was just one of those things that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and try it, if because if I don't try it, if I don't try something, I'm never gonna find out if I'm good at it or if I'll succeed in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think the lawn care business for me, it was a really what I forget what the term is, but it's a low start. You know, it doesn't require a lot of money to
It's a
start.
low investment.
Yeah, it's a low investment, and of course, once you start making money, then you can upgrade your equipment or whatever, right? So so that's pretty much how I started, and then of course, I was watching a lot of YouTube videos on um, how to mow. You know what I'm saying? Whenever I first started, how to mow, how to edge, and how to do this, and just watching a lot of YouTube videos. And I was like, you know what? I want to try some YouTube videos too. So I
Yes.
started. So I started just kind of posting some YouTube videos of my work before and after. But yeah, dude. I mean,
Well, no, it's
now,
funny because I started seeing those videos and that kind of turned me on. Like, dang, Mark's got because I remember you as being in the film, but then you were doing your own editing and you were doing all these little crazy little,
yeah, yeah,
even when you were just messing around with your family, like the little fun videos, you were like doing After Effects and such, and just having fun with your videos, and that's what I loved about it.
yeah, dude. That's why, and that's probably why I started doing the YouTube videos because I'm like you, bro. I love the production aspect of movies, of film or whatever. Not so much being on the in front of the camera, but
Really?
I've always liked the being behind the scenes guy. I've always liked that. So that was probably one of my reasons I started doing YouTube videos because I love film. So I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and start filming my employees, start filming myself, start trying to vlog, which was a struggle for me. But yeah, dude, it's fun. I think stretching yourself, challenging yourself. It don't matter how old you are. You know, a lot of people maybe that are in their 60s, 70s think, oh, you know what, I can't do anything. I'm not. I was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you can. It's not so much. Uh, don't let fear stop you from doing what you're called to do. Because if you just kind of stay within yourself, like I'm comfortable here, I don't want to expand, I don't want to grow. I think you'll always let fear. I think, or how do I say, like fear is what stops you from progressing. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Um, man, I've sorry, I lost my train
No,
of
that's right.
thought.
No, those are some great words to end on. That's some more Rockstar gold right there. I just
um,
there's a quote that I shared. I think I'm not sure on my show or I was doing someone else's podcast a few weeks ago, and I remember sharing a quote that I heard that fear is the one thing. The fear is the only thing that becomes smaller the faster you run towards it, and it's true.
yeah, dude,
As
yeah,
a speaker, and like I was sharing earlier, my guests, my audience, a lot of my target audience were like 30s, 40s, 50s, 60 and above. People who had their life, their identity, and their jobs, and then because of 2020 or something, their identity in their work has ended. And they could see themselves as a failure or move on. You know, some people they don't know how to move on from what they've done their whole lives, and
oh,
so
dude,
and
yes,
that's a big fear for some. So my job as a speaker is to give them the courage to try something new, um,
yep,
to and that's why I love bringing guests like you who've tried something different, because even though lawn care was not maybe um, was your first priority, now it allows you, it is giving you the money to do what you do, like what you can do, be a family person, do some. I'm not sure if you're still doing music stuff. I see you jam, but
yeah.
like, but you can now you have your own Twitch stream show, man. That's another thing. Like you are still doing production stuff, and that has allowed you because you become really well at doing something that has freed you to do that other thing. But the main thought is for those of you who are stuck, for those of you who have lost, for those of you who have found fear of moving forward, just know, take it from the expert of Mark who has overcome obstacle after obstacle after obstacle just because his attitude is like, you know what? I'm good. I just got to try this because this is not gonna own me. This is not
There you
gonna
go.
stop me.
There you go.
I want to be the master of this fear, and he has time after time after time. Mark,
Oh,
Thank you for being
absolutely,
my
man.
guest today.
Yeah, bro.
Thank you
Appreciate it,
for the
man.
stories. This is the kind of conversations I love to have with my guests. When they just share their heart, they share their stories. We have some laughs and we bring some value. More importantly, you brought some value that my audience can take to use it to help them detach from failure, take ownership, and develop the right mindset to become the rock star of their industry. Any last words that you'd like to say before I shut the show down and let you go to your son's recital or your son's
Man,
performance?
bro. Man, yeah. I guess the main thing is challenge yourself, man. Pick something that you're afraid of, or you've always been afraid to do. Uh, Go online and figure out. Okay, because I think with me, like the snakes, because I was ignorant, I wasn't educated on the animals.
Mm-hmm.
I educated myself, and that brought my fear level down. Once you do that, I think you could definitely defeat fear, man. And and I'm not trying to be preachy or nothing, but fear or spirit, I don't know what you got, like spiritual, but fear, doesn't come from God. And of course, I think my faith definitely plays a
Yeah.
big role in my life too, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, challenge yourself, man. Stretch yourself to try to do things that you've always wanted to do, but you've been afraid to do, and you'll be
Most
surprised what you could do.
most
So,
definitely. Hey, so if anyone wanted to find more about you online, where could they
oh
go
yeah,
to find more of
oh dude, okay, yeah,
The Barbon, or whatever?
okay,
You can promote your Twitch, you can promote your YouTube, you can promote
okay,
your lawn care, you can promote anything you want, my
all
man.
right. I just started my gaming channel on Facebook and on Twitch, and I go by Marky the Barbone. And if you want to check out my business lawn care channel, it's Eclipse Lawn Care on YouTube. So there you go.
And
That's
I'm
it.
following, or and on my Instagram for my audience, they
Oh,
know
that's
that
right.
on my the Hey Rockstar Instagram, I only follow people who've been guests on my show. And I didn't know if you had a different one, but I'm following the Eclipse Lawn Care. Is that the only Instagram you have?
On Instagram, I have Eclipse Lawn Care, and I have another one. It's kind of like just a, I guess I do a lot of eating, a foodie channel.
Ah, okay. I'll find
Um,
it. I'll follow you back on it. Don't worry.
okay, and I
I'll
believe
follow you.
that one's bro, I don't even know.
I remember. Is that the Hey Buddy? Yeah, buddy. I remember those burrito channels
Probably.
you were doing for
Yeah,
burrito videos.
I could send you links to all of
Perfect.
this, and then I'll just message you the links, and you can put it in the description or
I
something.
will. I'll drop it in the description later on. All
Awesome,
right.
man.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this has been episode 52 of Hey Rockstar, featuring the one, the only Mark Barreras. Just an entrepreneur, not an entrepreneur, an entrepreneur, a rock star, an actor, producer, just so many things. More than anything, he's been a fear conqueror. Go back and watch any of the other stuff, but just to close this show up, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for letting us into your hearts. Thank you for letting us into your homes. Thank you for letting us into your cars. I just said that wrong. Let me rewind that. Thank you for letting us into your homes. Thank you for letting us into your hearts. Thank you for letting us into your cars. I still messed it up. I don't care. Just thank you, y'all, for letting us be here. All the way from Nashville, Tennessee, and all the way from Rockwall, aka Dallas, Texas. I'm Josafat Emiliano. This has been, I don't know. Okay, there we go. The camera's different now. Mark Barreras.
Yeah.
Miguel's right here, not too far from me.
What's up, Miguel?
And we just want to say, until next time, much love and many